Hi, my name is Chris Matthews and I'm your relationship coach and licensed marriage and family therapist. In this video, I'm going to address a very important topic, and that's why do men cheat? So, as a licensed marriage and family therapist that specializes in working with couples, unfortunately, one of the hardest parts of my job is to work with couples who are coming into counseling to try to repair their relationship after infidelity. And out of every five couples I treat, three are coming in for infidelity. So you can imagine that a lot of my work looks like treating couples for infidelity. And I wanted to make this video because a lot of times people come in and they're heartbroken because infidelity is a trauma. A trauma being defined as one day you wake up, you think everything's solid or everything's okay, and then wham, it's like getting hit by a truck and your entire life has changed on you. So that's something that I find a lot of the couples expressing to me in therapy. So first and foremost, this is a disclaimer. I'm going to give you guys 6 different ingredients that I believe that create the process for infidelity to occur. But before I do that, I just want to have this statement out there. I personally do not believe that there's any reason or rationale that supports infidelity. The reason why is because you could just end the relationship. So I know that sounds simple, but it may not be for others because when you have marriages, there's children, money involved. But at that point, you're just being selfish. Because if you are willingly going out behind your partner's back to establish other relationships or get intimate relationship needs met, then at that point, you're just trying to have your cake and eat it too. So I just want to come out and be very direct with you on that lens. So let's jump into the 6 different ingredients. The first ingredient is going to be the relationship quality. So infidelity can be brewed or initiated before there's even any cheating. The reason why is because if the relationship quality is low, meaning the couple or the partners are fighting often, one partner doesn't want to come home, there's this feelings of just a negative environment. In other words, they don't even like each other. Right? Like when you at a point where you don't even like the person you married to or dating, the quality of the relationship is lessened. What makes that such an important factor or ingredient is at that point you now start to justify it internally, where you can say to yourself, well, they're not having sex with me. They're not holding their end of the bargain. So you start to trick yourself into thinking you're better than that. And if you hurt them, it's okay. So relationship quality is usually one of the first ingredients. Next, you have the internal environment. And that kind of segues away from relationship quality. The internal environment is what that individual is dealing with. I have a lot of couples that come in and one partner might be encountering depression, low self-esteem, low self-value or worth. In some situations, they might have been cheated on by their partner and they just want to get back at their partner and make their partner feel what they felt. So infidelity might begin to start brewing for those people just based on the internal environment. In other words, what they're feeling or experiencing inside. Next, you have external opportunities. Now, external opportunities tend to align with the fact that when it rains, it pours. In other words, you might have a poor relationship environment internally where you don't like your partner, the quality is bad, and then all of a sudden you get a Facebook friend notice from an ex-boyfriend or girlfriend. That's an opportunity now to present itself for you to even engage in infidelity. And a lot of couples that cheat, they might have said, I was in a bad place for a long time with my partner. We weren't engaging intimately. They had hurt me, and I felt lonely in the marriage. And all of a sudden, I got a friend request from an old high school friend, and I just started talking to him. And initially, it might start out fine. Hey, we just were talking about the situations we're in because they were in a ungratifying relationship too. that's the opportunity that begins to present itself. The fourth ingredient is then going to be the ongoing circumstances. Ongoing circumstances are your work environment, your religious or church affiliate or environment, or even your school environment. It could even be the environment where your kids' sports teams are held, and it could be a coach or another parent that's there. The reason why this is so critical is because you can't protect yourself from being around other people that you might have fondness or attraction to. What you can do is make the decision to not flame those relationships. So as a male, I have 3 children, and all my children are participating in different activities. I might take my sons to track practice or football practice, and there are other single mothers or parents there that might speak to me. I'm cordial. Hey, how are you doing? I speak. And then I keep going. I don't initiate long-term dialogue with these individuals. I'm not trying to set any signs out that I'm looking for more than just a cordial, hey, how are you doing? Another thing that's very important is I always initiate relationships with the opposite sex up front, and I present myself with a title as a married husband. I say, hey, how are you doing? Oh, it's great. My wife would love to have been out here, but she had to work on something at school. I would love for you to meet her. I'm always initiating that dialogue so the partner or the person I'm speaking to, doesn't have some window to kind of come into my life and threaten what I have, which is a good thing. So another big piece, infidelity tends to usually also occur between coworkers. Something as simple as having lunch with the coworker and you start talking to them. If you start to feel those attractions brewing, where you start to anticipate or look forward to being in that person's company more than you do your own partner, at that point, you need to really fall back and ask yourself, something may not be right. I need to make some changes. So not allowing yourself to be attracted to those ongoing circumstances. Next, you're going to have the personal choice. The personal choice is going to be that decision you make when you're at the crossroads. It could be something like being at your friend's bachelor party or bachelorette party, and they choose to invite exotic dancers in. If you are in a committed relationship, your partner doesn't approve of you being around sex workers, and you choose to stay in that moment or that environment, you're making a choice that is now feeding into infidelity. My wife, she's not really big on strip clubs or anything like that. So if my partner's trying to invite me out to a strip club or something, I'm like, hey man, that part of the evening I got to fall back on because my wife, she don't really feel that. And they respect me enough to know that they don't have to peer pressure me or call me names. They know I value my marriage. So once again, some partners are cool with that. So that's between you and your partner to have that dialogue. I'm not judging, but I'm saying you got to know in those moments, those choices are going to lead toward something that could be detrimental, like infidelity. The other piece, the sixth ingredient that I find is the ongoing actions. So initially when partners come in and they share about how they cheated on their partner, the first encounter was the moment where they feel this shame and they're like, oh my gosh, I hurt my partner. I should not do this again. But they keep going. There was a situation I had where there was a female partner who cheated on her husband with the person who was leading the Bible study at church. And he was an older male father figure. He was about 15 years older than the female. And she developed a bond with him. And they initially they shared a kiss in the hallway. And she felt horrible. She was like, oh my gosh, how did I do that? I kissed this man. I'm married. And she didn't pull herself from the situation. She then went out to coffee with the man. That transitioned to having sex in the car. That transitioned to actually being in a hotel together. And then the husband found out, and you can imagine, he was heartbroken. So these ingredients that I've just presented are done in a way so you can understand infidelity doesn't just happen overnight. Unlike what you see on TV, you don't just fall into it. You know, a lot of people are like, I don't know how it happened. Yeah, you do. This is how it happened. First, you may have had an issue with the relationship quality. Second, you then chose to listen to those internal voices that convinced you were worthy enough to cheat, and you had this what do you call it? You had this like overconfidence in terms of like you were owed the right to cheat. There is no right to cheat on a person. Third, you put yourself in a position where there were external opportunities that you took advantage of, like the Facebook or going through and adding yourself on Tinder or a dating app, even though you're in a relationship, or something as simple as liking a lot of Instagram pictures and photos of women that you find that are attractive, and then one of them, comes out and messages you, and you get flattered by that. The next one, fourth, is going to be making sure you're managing, or you didn't manage, the ongoing circumstances, like your workplace or something of that nature. Fifth, you look at the personal choice. Did you remove yourself from that environment, or did you continue to stay in it? And then the sixth ingredient is going to be continued behaviors. Once you've already crossed that line, are you going to keep going across it, or are you going to stop, pause, and go back the other way? I hope this video is helpful with breaking down the 6 ingredients that lead to infidelity, why men and women, for that matter, cheat. If you are in a relationship and you have cheated or you have betrayed your partner's trust, therapy is a great place to go to get that rekindled. But once again, there are no promises, unfortunately. Some relationships do heal. Some relationships don't heal. I tell couples that think about a scar or a bruise. Just because the bruise or scar doesn't hurt anymore, it doesn't mean that it's gone away. So couples who heal from infidelity are learning how to, first and foremost, grieve the loss of one relationship and build a new one. And some people have the ability to do that, and some people don't. For example, my wife and I, we've been together 15 years. From day one, we made it known we're not those type of people. We don't have it in us to try to rebuild after infidelity. So we look at our relationship like a trapeze artist. We don't have a net underneath. If we fall off that beam or that rope, the relationship's gonna die. So we make sure we balance ourselves properly so we don't fall, and we protect each other. That's something we made an agreement on 15 years ago, and that's something I haven't broken and she hasn't either. So making sure that you understand what your partner's expectations are. I hope this video was helpful. Once again, I'm going to continue to give you more information because I want you guys out there to have the relationship you want. Also, check out our website, Relationship Counseling Tools. I have some online courses that you can look at, as well as some books that you can purchase that can help you navigate through certain issues that tend to lead couples to counseling. My name is Chris Matthews. It was a pleasure speaking with you today, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side. You can never go back. I gotta take it all.